Hello everyone, how we doing? Dr. Charlie here. Listen, school-age kids and colds and flus. Yes, the spiking up of colds and flus and viruses has been tremendous across the nation, even across the pond as well. Excuse me. So when it comes to colds and flus, it's very important to understand 2 to 3 different things. Here it is. A cold or a flu is a virus. That's one. So you have to understand that antibiotics, unless it's severe and you have tremendous amounts of mucus where it is clogging things up, antibiotics are going to exacerbate these colds and flus and make it last a lot longer. I'll say it again. If you have a cold or a flu and you are taking antibiotics, you give your child antibiotics, is going to exacerbate these conditions to last a lot longer because, again, the body is actually needing that good immunity to not be killed off. Antibiotics is for what? Bacteria. So now let's move to some solutions. First and foremost, we have to understand that fevers are not something to completely and utterly fear. Why am I saying that? Again, in the sickle cell realm, we're hearing fever, run to the hospital. I say this, simply put, even a normal child, if we say that the fever is over 102.3 or 102, simply put, what happens is right here, we still tell the parents to take the child to the hospital. So just by running a fever does not mean that you have to run directly to the hospital. Allow your child to run a fever anywhere from 5, 6, up to 24 hours. If it's under 102.2, I will always say 102.2, because if you know that it is a viral attack, the virus has to work its way through it. Now, what can you do to actually alleviate some of the signs and symptoms? Yes, you can do the alcohol rubs across the forehead and also on the legs and arms. You want to increase the vitamin C. When I say increase the vitamin C, I'm just going to give a broad spectrum range. I'm not going to tell, the actual age groups, but this is what I like to see patients do. Anywhere from 500 units up to 5,000 units, every 3 to 4 hours. And yes, that's a whole lot of vitamin C, but the same token, what I want you guys to understand, vitamin C is still the best antioxidant out there, and it will allow the virus to be pushed out of the system a lot faster. And if your child happens to have some diarrhea along with that, that is not a bad thing. That is everything sort of coming out the system. And again, I'm not going to say the very specific age range, but like I said, between 500 and 5,000 is what I'm actually talking about. It depends on the age and things in there. So you can DM me if you want to know things more specifically. But the other thing is increasing the amount of zinc. We like to say, okay, I gave him zinc. How many times a day have you given it to him? It has to be 3 to 4 times a day that you're giving. So again, every 3 to 4 hours, also giving the zinc. Zinc, again, is the best. It is the best supplement for actually being able to allowing the body to locate the viruses inside the body and help the body kill those viruses off. It's something in your thymus, which is like where all the killer T cells are located. And in the thymus, there's something called thiamine. And thiamine is the body sort of emits and go find the bacteria and viruses and mark them so the killer T cells will now come in and actually eat them up. If you're just 10% deficient in zinc, your body would not be able to produce enough thiamine to actually go mark those viruses. That's one reason why I say take zinc. You gotta take zinc. The other thing is, guys, you gotta let your child rest. I know you want to make them comfortable. You want to make sure that they are, sort of hanging out. But the more they're actually up looking at television or even playing on video games or even tablets, that's not allowing their body to rest enough to get enough strength to actually fight this cold or flu. The other thing is plenty of fluids, plenty of good fluids, and do not do orange juice. Orange juice is the worst thing you want to do. Teas, I say mint tea, berberine tea. Sorry, not berberine. Burdock root tea. Why did I say berberine? Burdock root tea, ginger tea, turmeric tea, lemon honey. When I say honey, above 3 years old, not even 2, above 3 years old. And when I say honey, I mean a dab of honey, not a whole lot of honey. Right? So these are some of the tips and tricks you can start to do at home. Yes, the colloidal silver will work. Yes, the echinacea golden seal will also help, but not when they actually have the actual cold and flu. Golden seal is good for actually stopping the production of mucus, things of that sort. along with fennel as well. But again, Virate, our Virate and Virate Junior, it's been shown that it helps with the colds and flu. It helps with the sore throat. It also helps with breaking the actual fever as well. And then there's some other homeopathics that I tend to love to take. You can also give homeopathic sulfur. In it's very, very low doses. And also is another brand out there called Highlands. Highlands has a kid's cold and flu, like a severe cold and flu, that I tend to even get to my own kids sometimes if, they need some extra relief in sleeping and things of that sort. So again, make sure they're resting, make sure that they're staying covered up, making sure they're breaking that fever, but also making sure you keep them hydrated. Again, electrolyte water, put a lot of electrolytes inside the water, or again, the teas and things that is also sufficient, but I still like to give extra electrolytes because as you're breaking that, those fevers, you're also losing a lot of nutrients too, but also you need nutrients in order to fight these colds and flus as well. The other thing I'll say is, guys, when you're going through these situations, do not panic. Do not panic. The first thing you can do is not panic because your child has a cold and flu, does not mean that they're going to have a sickle cell crisis. If your child has a cold and flu, does not mean that it's going to trigger a acute chest syndrome and all these things. Just relax. And the reason why I always say relax is because of the fact that we do have guides, we do have protocols that we create for you guys to actually walk you through that. If you want the information, again, please DM me or say guide in this video right here, and we'll be able to send that over to you or give you information on how you'll be able to have access to that video. All right, guys, you have a great one. Take care and enjoy yourselves.